Welcome to another Field of Glory 2 battle. This is part of Polin, a Byzantine campaign of survival. This time we're facing off against Carvon, who commands the Germans, and the Byzantines. So, this is Polin into the city, a Byzantine campaign of survival, being run by Cronenblatt on the Slytherin forums. He had some real-life commitments and had to step out of playing Op 4, but we've had replacement players come in. So here, Carvon has taken control of the HRE, Holy Roman Empire, that is. We are slogging it out for Crete. If I win, then I can eliminate this as a threat track, which technically would leave only Mongols and Turks as new threats to emerge in Phase 3, but we've discussed the possibility of adding Venetians or Normans or Crusaders or something annoying like that. If I lose, Crete gets burned to the ground, possibly Macedonia too if I do badly enough, and the enemy gets closer to the capital and reduces our income. Okay, so we're going pretty hard into foot, mainly because the cavalry I'm just not that worried about. If he goes hard into cavalry, we can shoot it down with our infantry. If he goes hard into infantry, well, a lot of our cavalry just wouldn't be all that useful. To grab one unit of the thematic lancers and archers, and they can try to stand off and zone out enemy infantry. And I mean, I wouldn't mind having more, but the points don't really work out. I did want some lights for the forest, a couple light horse archers to goad him safely, and then more flex in terms of light foot, given that he can get 9 units of missile infantry. We can totally outshoot him, which should force him to attack. Unfortunately, he has very good heavy foot, and we don't, or at least we don't have very many. So that's going to be our problem. I did grab the Varangian Guard and the Klibanofodoi to try to deal with that deficiency, but that will be the difficulty. An all-out, head-on melee infantry rush will be the hardest thing to deal with. To that end, I could try to finagle a way to get another unit of Lancers to slow such a push down, but they're kind of expensive. So I think I incline toward maybe, if that happens, then we defend this hill, and we can spread 1 or 2 more units of cavalry into the center to slow things down. Don't like leaving 13 on the table, but there's nothing I could do that would feel like a better army comp to me at this point, to be honest. Alright, let's see that force comp and deployment. The real question is, how much heavy foot? Went all in on the dismounted armored lancers. That's bad news for me. Well, is what it is. Let's trundle forward a bit. Do you think, though, that we are in rather better shape for the cavalry battle? Next turn. Gonna sit on their hill? That's fine, and we'll sit on our hill. What we could even do is, if they're gonna sit there, why don't we... try to occupy that built-up area. Grab a unit of cavalry, try to slow them down. There. Next turn. They occupy that rough. That's to be expected. The question is, what else happens? Okay. So, what to do? I think we could pretty safely move up. I mean, we get shot up a little bit by masked archers. Maybe it's better to wait and see what he does. I like the idea of goading him, but maybe we should be intelligent. Next turn. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I don't really care. Assuming there aren't more light troops in these woods, we can just, like, nope out of here. Hang out, be irritating. Advance our foot. Alright. Support them. Lurk. There. Stand that high ground. Prepare to help engage the cavalry. Infantry can swing in here, and the cavalry can support the lights there. If you hear explosions, it's fireworks. It's a celebration. Alright, so otherwise, do we push into contact here? He seems disinterested, which means we might need to prod him a bit into doing so. 34, so that's the edge of that unit's range. They're armored, so they're not going to take much damage from this, but it's the more dangerous unit, so we should do it anyway. Okay. Do we care about this situation? If we push, we could try to zone these out with the cliffs, and they'll work over the archers with our scudatoi. Yeah, that might be necessary. Let's start setting it up without fully committing to it yet. So what happens if we do that? Next turn. I mean, that's fine if you want to send heavies after my lights. Okay. Should I just shoot at the full arc? It's tempting, but we should probably preserve our men. Again, disrupts are unlikely, but it's not a bad thing to inflict casualties in such dangerous units. Okay. Ordinarily, I would not do this, but given that we're about to get shot at, it might actually make sense to try for a disrupt. Oh. This is a bit sketch. Good. Now we are successfully behind him. Might need to use our clibs to slow him down some more. Something like that. Alright, it's about to get real. Next turn. Okay. They might disrupt, yeah, being raw and all. Yeah, bounce that, it's fine. Now we can riddle them with arrows. Do we come downhill to get a shot? Yeah. Okay, then what? Shove them. It's fine. Light them up. And again. Start getting in the way. Okay. Carry on. Zone them out. Do we risk getting rear charged? I think maybe I don't care. No, let's not be silly. What happens if we charge? It's not bad, but we might as well just shoot them instead. So if he charges one, we'll flank with the other. You are going to win that. So go ahead and win it. Try again. Hold firm. Alright. Then what? Sure. Loose. Zone them out. Get in there. And zone them out. And in the meantime, you can push in. By getting this close to them, we should kick in that modifier for melee capable enemies at close range. Half arc, but worth it for the check. No. Alright. Shift over. Done all we can. Next turn. Come on, hold that shit. Rude. Good. Might disrupt here. Bounce them. They pile in. Okay. Do we get pushed back is the question. Okay, and we're through. That's good. See if they break. Right. Zone them out. Zone them out. You can general up in turn. Do we charge or do we not even bother? I don't think we actually need to bother. Okay. Why don't we set up drops? Interesting. Nope. There. Could just smash them, or general up here, zone them out. Probably still smash them. Let's see if we can't score a disrupt. No. Good. Prepare to shift over into a flanking position. Same thing there. Just be perpetually distracting. All right. Next turn. All right. Should have shot them first. Nice. Fuck. That worked out. Okay, first off, that's step one. Step two, right? Can this unit reach us here? I think they really can. But I'm not totally sure, so out with it. Nice. Sometimes, game, you know how to make a guy happy. Alright. Keep them zoned. take a risk of getting caught here. Okay. Normally I don't do this, but it's worth a check. Alright, see if they break. What does that do for us then? Nothing. It's alright. Set up a drop. Suffer. Great. Clibs can charge in next turn. Next turn we can do some charging into contact. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Next turn. They might break, which could force a frag there. It doesn't. Oof. Alright, so we can't rely on them to hold there forever. Oh, sadness. See if you can break them. Sound them out. Lose some more arrows. Crash into them. Lovely. We're gonna hold on so that we can auto drop. Block a fallback here. Now they can auto drop next turn. Still not worth the charge. Where do they end up is the question. Interesting. Get out of that direct line of fire. they're gonna auto drop us. We're gonna auto drop them in turn. Sure. Battle's almost over and we've still got full ammo, so we might as well. Okay, this game, Carvon says, raw troops performed a lot better than I expected. Well played. Yeah, we'll get into that. I will say this is in my opinion, the best Byzantine army there is. And next campaign turn, I won't have it. Right. So, let's break that down. Misclicked before, exited out without going to here. So, the key is these mixed Datoi and Archer units. We commented on the raw ones especially, so let's take a look at this matchup, right? So these are 50% defensive spearmen. Well, what does that mean? That means on impact, on the defensive, they get 100 defensive spear, minus 25 for raw. That's 75. In melee, they only get 50, and then minus 25, so that's 25. But if they are steady, they do fully cancel mounted swordsmen that are not cataphracts. They also cancel half of infantry swordsmen POA. So this unit is what, 28 points, I want to say? Armored Lancers, 64, right? It's a general dub, superior armored unit of Lancers. Cost of 64. Getting shot at as it maneuvers. On impact, Lancer is normally 100, but only 50 against steady defensive spears if they're charging the spears. So 50 Lance, 50 Superior, 50 Commander-in-Chief, 150 against 100 minus 25. So up 75, that's pretty good, but, you know, if they bounce once and they get shot at, I might have to take a check. They might stick the melee as well. And in that situation, it would be 25 for the Rask, Dato, and Archers versus 50 Superior and 25 Armor Advantage, and then 50 for the Commander-in-Chief, so 125. So they'd be up 100 minus Combat Strength modifier. So the point is, you know, these units are really good for cost. The regular ones are average, have some armor, and they are maneuverable, which, while they pay 6 points for maneuverability as heavy foot, it can kind of be worth it with these shooty units to get those better arcs. Furthermore, massed archers aren't really going to work too well against these because they can close the distance and then shoot into the rough. The massed archers suffer the penalty to their shooting for enemy melee troops in charge range. So what should Caravan have done? This is a difficult matchup for the Germans. To get that out of the way. I'll say I don't think the archers were a great use of points. It's critical to try to avoid this kind of situation where I have a 54 point unit zoning out a 72 point unit. That's 18 point profit in this staring contest. Nothing else, the general could have switched off a bit. Charging them, kind of pointless. There's a chance of breaking them down over time. You want to avoid this, right? So a mass infantry push with cavalry on the wings to try to minimize the time being exposed to shooting. So a decisive melee push, I think, would have been the way to go. Yes, the Varangians and the Clibs are tough, but they're really expensive. If they are spending time killing some trash, he would have a chance of overwhelming these Ktatoi with defensive spearmen. Or the extra dismounted lancers. But even your crappy 36-point defensive spearmen can defeat these 44 points Ktatoi and archers in melee, as they are full spear, not 50%. Finally, the Talchmata are really good, but they are 72 points versus 64 for these armored lancers, and they are identical in melee. They're not going to have much time to shoot with a decisive charge. Sprinkling some cheap cavalry or lancers in there, you could try to get flanks and overwhelm it. Not saying it would be easy, but I think if you dumped the points that were put in archers and master archers, put them in more heavy foot and cavalry, then there'd be a chance, at least at a nice flat open map like this. Granted, I could have then deployed here to here and anchored on the hill, and then use skirmishers to force them to attack. That would be ugly. Really, all of this is moot though. Next campaign turn, I will not have this army. I will just have the non-shooties Ktatoi. It's gonna get messy. So, good game to Karvan as always. Till next time.